Every man fears the day she walks away. The slammed door, the cold silence, the look in her eyes that says, "I'm done." You replay it in your head, the texts unanswered, the house that feels louder when it's quiet, the bed that suddenly feels bigger, emptier, colder. But what most men don't realize is this: the day you walk away, not in anger, not in drama, not in a performance, but in cold, steady self-respect, that's the day everything changes. Because a man who walks away doesn't just leave her, he leaves behind the weaker version of himself, the version that begged, that compromised, that folded under pressure just to keep her happy. And once you leave that man behind, she will never see you the same again. Most men never reach this point. They cling when it's over. They negotiate when the respect is already gone. They treat a dying relationship like a debt collector treats payments, desperate, pleading, bargaining for just a little more time. They think love can be salvaged through effort. But they miss the truth. Love might survive mistakes. Respect never survives begging. Every plea, every late night "please talk to me," every "just give me one more chance," doesn't rebuild her affection. It drains it. Because once you beg, you show her what you're really afraid of. Not losing her, but losing yourself. And that's the one fear no woman can respect. That's why when you walk away, you're not just leaving her, you're leaving the entire frame of desperation behind. Psychology is simple here. Absence creates value, scarcity creates respect, and presence without boundaries creates contempt. When you withdraw, you create space, and that space is powerful. It does what no argument, no apology, no performance could ever do. It forces her to feel your absence. It forces her to notice the silence. And silence is brutal, because silence is a mirror. And in that mirror, she sees herself. She sees the man she pushed away, the man who wouldn't crawl, wouldn't beg, wouldn't break. That image stays. It doesn't dissolve, even if she pretends it doesn't matter, even if she never admits it, even if she never comes back. Let me be clear. Walking away isn't about making her chase you. That's childish. That's manipulation. That's a boy playing games. Walking away is about proving to yourself that your dignity is worth more than her half-love, her half-effort, her half-presence. Most men stay because they fear loss, but the real loss isn't her. The real loss is staying in a place where you are disrespected, where you're tolerated, not chosen, where your presence is convenient, not cherished. When you walk, you reclaim the only respect that cannot be faked, your own. And here's the paradox. The moment you walk away, she sees you differently. Because men who beg, they're everywhere. Men who tolerate disrespect, they're common. But men who calmly leave, men who don't explain, don't argue, don't collapse, rare. And rarity burns itself into memory. Even years later, she'll compare every man after you to the man who had the courage to leave. Because once she's seen a man who won't fold, who won't chase, who won't shrink, every needy man after looks like a shadow. Every clingy man looks smaller. That's why she'll never see you the same again. Not because you punished her, but because you revealed what she thought didn't exist anymore, a man who chooses self-respect over validation. Think of it like currency. Attention is cheap. Validation is cheap. Most men spend it like water. But respect is gold. And when you walk, you prove you won't sell gold for pennies. She realizes she can replace company. She can replace intimacy. She can replace casual affection. But she cannot replace respect freely given and permanently withdrawn. That's why your absence leaves a scar. Staying when respect is gone is like trying to breathe in a room with no oxygen. At first you don't notice. You think you can survive, but slowly you suffocate. Walking away is stepping outside into the cold night air. It shocks you. It hurts at first. But then you realize that what felt cold was actually freedom, that what felt empty was actually peace, that what felt brutal was actually healing. And let me talk directly to you now. You know what it feels like to stay past the point of respect. You know what it feels like to hold on to someone who's already gone, to chase texts that feel cold, to sit across from someone who used to look at you like you were everything, and now looks at you like you're in the way. You know that ache, and you know it doesn't heal by staying, it heals by leaving. Because walking away doesn't just change her view of you, it changes your view of yourself. Once you've walked away from disrespect, you cannot go back to crawling. Once you've burned the weak version of yourself, you cannot bring him back. That man dies. And when he dies, you are reborn stronger. You walk taller, you speak slower, you carry yourself differently. And she notices. Everyone notices. She'll never see you the same again, and you'll never see yourself the same again. And yes, she might try to return, not for love, for access, for control, for the comfort of knowing you were still there waiting. She'll send the breadcrumbs. Hey, stranger. Was thinking about you. Remember when we... But she's not reaching for you. She's reaching for the security she lost. She's testing if the door is still unlocked. That's why walking away leaves a scar on her. Because she can move on from company, but she cannot move on from knowing she lost a man who wouldn't crawl. And here's the deeper truth. Walking away isn't about her. It's never been about her. It's about you. It's about learning that love without respect isn't love. It's pity. It's duty. It's her managing you like a patient she doesn't believe will recover. It's about proving to yourself that silence is stronger than begging, that absence is louder than pleading, that dignity is worth more than crumbs. When you walk, you win twice. You win her respect, whether she admits it or not, and you win yours, the kind no one can ever strip from you. So if you're sitting there wondering, will she ever see me the same after I walk away? Let me tell you, no, she won't. And that's the point. She won't see the weak version. She won't see the begging version. She won't see the man who stayed past the point of self-respect. She will only see the man who left, the man who valued himself more than her approval, the man who knew peace was better than disrespect. And once you've become that man, you don't care how she sees you, because you've already changed. You've already grown. You've already walked away from the only thing that ever mattered. The version of yourself that needed her to define your worth. So remember this, every man fears the day she walks away. But the day you walk away, that's the day you stop fearing. That's the day you stop begging. That's the day you stop trading your crown for scraps. Because the man who walks away doesn't lose, he finds himself. And once you've found that, she'll never see you the same again.